push, you ask? Good question. It's that thing that keeps you going in the right direction. Some people may call it drive. Other people may call it determination. Your gifts will make room for you. The way I see it is this: if you're not learning, growing, developing in any capacity, guess what? You ain't pushing. This is The Push. So this episode of The Push is going to highlight an icon whose career spanned over 6 decades. She was once referred to as the most exciting woman in the world by American film director Orson Welles. I'm talking about Eartha Kitt, and she was like cinnamon. She was the type of spice that would adapt to any environment and leave her mark so that you knew she was there. She was gorgeous and one of the most talented women to ever grace the stage. She was a comedian, an actress, a singer, a dancer, a writer, and an activist. Here's Eartha Kitt.
And when the time came that I was offered this opportunity to go down and meet Katherine Dunham, because I had seen her in the movies with these beautiful legs in the air, and wow. And I thought, oh, this is something I'd like to do. Üsküdar is the name of a little town in Turkey. And in Üsküdar they have very many strange ways. Along with these strange ways go very many strange saints. And one of them is Benismr Fustukule Karavay Sarayda. It means I like to feed my lover bird's milk. Üsküdar giderken aldı da bir yağmur. Üsküdar giderken aldı da bir yağmur. Kâtbe में बिन कहाती बिन एल कारजू. Kâtbe में बिन कहाती बिन एल कारजू.
Eartha Kitt. She was as beautiful as she was talented. Equal parts grace and fire. She was a force to be reckoned with, earning her place among the legends of music and the stage.
It means a fat man usually has a belly like a percolating coffee pot. Üsküdar giderken bin dirburudun. Üsküdar giderken bin dirburudun. Men belhemetti çene de lokum durdum. Men delemin kolala da gumlaguna güzel yaraşın. We get to the school on 57th Street where her school was, and she was having these dances, auditions, and the drums were going. So I joined the class and went. And I won a full scholarship, and that's how I got it. What is worth throughout the earth, I'm known as Fantasal. And when the Lord comes up like thunder, brother, bring back your plasma house. Now you know why I'm called the most exciting woman in the world.
I want to highlight an incident that happened at the height of her career. The year after she starred as Catwoman in the final season of the television series Batman, she was basically blackballed in the industry for about 10 years. And it all stemmed from an incident that happened at the White House. Take a look.
In 1968, as protests against the war in Vietnam escalated,
violence has shown its face in some of our cities.
President Lyndon Johnson and the First Lady decided to host a ladies' luncheon to discuss the turmoil. One of the invited, Eartha Kitt.
And the reason she was invited is that she had been working with youth in the ghettos, and the kids talked to her.
She had a very weird reaction to being there because it looked like the white plantation house on the plantation where she was born.
The success of freeing our neighborhoods from hoodlums and fear depends upon the cooperation of all our citizens.
Lady Bird was talking about planting trees along streets, like they say, the ladies who lunch.
It's a nice, respectable lunch, and everyone sort of making polite points, and suddenly Eartha stands up.
She turned to Lady Bird and she just said, you're a mother, so what are we gonna do about sending these black kids overseas to get shot?
Huh? What about them?
There was this unbelievable silence, and then a bunch of people started freaking out.
Now you're dealing with two Southern people. You're Southerners. They're allowing you, a black person, to sit at their tables.
When she arrived back at her hotel, she was astonished to discover that this incident was being spoken about already on the radio.
Suddenly, the discussion was interrupted by a fiery charge from singer Eartha Kitt.
And that she was getting death threats.
The ghettos stemmed from the war in Vietnam.
Backlash is an understatement. It was an all-out assault against her. Johnson called the FBI as well as the CIA and demanded that they find something on this woman.
And that's really why Eartha was the original gangster. She really didn't realize the magnitude of what she did that day. But from everything I've read about Eartha, I think she still would have stood her ground in the same way had she known what would take place afterwards. We found a video of her account of that afternoon. Let's take a look. What is the name of this segment? Drunk history? What is the matter with you people? And they gave you a TV show. Back in my day, you had to actually have some talent. What is this? That's delicious. Is that peach? I love peach. What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about 1968. Okay. In 1968 was when I was called upon by Lady Johnson herself. They had heard of my work with the youth, and I'm just gonna... Ooh, we can edit that. You can edit that out. Okay, yeah, okay. We've got to get this delicious. Oh, this is yeah, okay. So back to the luncheon. So I didn't really want to go to the luncheon in the first place because I feel like politicians usually just are my lips moving? I can't feel them moving. I think they're moving. Are they moving? I think they're moving. Yeah, I can feel the pressure. They're moving. Ooh, ooh. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? Seems like you should be able to feel that. No. So what is everyone doing after this?
It was President Carter who asked me to come to the White House. And I went with my daughter. And he said, "Welcome home, Eartha." And that made headlines across all the papers in the United States. And that opened the doors for me to come back to American stage. So thank you again.
So Eartha really is proof that a rose can grow out of the concrete. She had a tough start, which made for a tough girl. and an even more tenacious woman. You have everything you need to overcome the obstacles that you face. It's not how well you start a thing that matters. It's how well you finish. I'll see you next time.